Why hello friends, welcome back to another video. It's your girl Meg, and in today's video we're going over my 6-month update having my Invisible Bead hair extensions. We're gonna go over my overall thoughts, we're gonna answer some frequently asked questions, and just kind of like where I'm at 6 months, how is my hair health holding up, stuff like that. If you are interested in Invisible Bead hair extensions and you want to know how this is going for me 6 months in, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future uploads, and make sure to follow along on social media. I do have a whole highlight on my Instagram stories dedicated to these hair extensions, so you can see some more stuff on that if you want. But let's just go ahead and get into this. Let's talk about my hair. So like I mentioned, this is the 6-month update with me having my Invisible Bead hair extensions. I made a whole video, I will link below and up above, explaining exactly what Invisible Bead hair extensions are, the process of installation, what that method is, stuff like that. I have a whole blog post as well. So if you want to check that out, make sure you hit that link below or up above somewhere. Just as a really short recap, Invisible Bead hair extensions are a permanent type of sewn-in hair extension that is sewn in, and I have 2 rows. But the difference between this and other hair extension methods is that when you flip up the hair extension, you don't see any metal exposed beads. See what I mean here? I flipped this completely up and you don't see any exposed beads. The way that they install it as well, there is less tension on the scalp, which in turn causes less damage. Their whole method is just based on hair health, and that's what initially drew me to this method. I had my hair extensions moved up last week by Salon, and Salon actually opened a brand new hair salon in Houston if you're local. Her new studio is called Extend Hair Studio. It is in the Arrive shopping center off of Kirby. Her salon looks amazing. She's such a talented, experienced hairstylist with over 17 years of experience. So if you're looking for somebody, definitely check out Salon and tell her I sent you, tell her you saw my video, because she would love to know that. At this point, I have had, I think, 4 move-ups. We're 6 months in. So I get my extensions moved up every 2 months. So I go about 9-ish weeks. This last time, I think I extended it almost to 10 weeks. As my hair is growing out, as these extensions are growing out, I'm noticing 0 damage. They grow out beautifully. There's no tugging, no pulling, no damage at all. So I have 2 rows. One is right here and one is right here in my hair. And we actually cut the extensions a little bit shorter, I think 2 move-ups ago. At the 4-month mark is when I got my hair recolored, so there was a little bit more re-highlighting to kind of bring the blonde up, and I actually wanted to tone the blonde down just a little bit more, and I'm glad we went that route now that my hair is really trying to rehabilitate. Again, move-ups every 2 months, color at the 4-month mark, so I can go about every 4 months for color, which I feel like that's the maintenance I have. But as far as the move-ups go, you're gonna expect to go every 8-ish, 6 to 8 weeks, people say, but I like to stretch it and get as much time as I can out of it, and I feel like with this method you can. I want to answer some of the other frequently asked questions, like how is my hair health doing, how do I feel about this as far as like my actual natural hair, and I can tell you that it's doing great. It's growing. I think when we first started, this is my natural hair right here, and when we first started, my hair was about this short, so it's really grown quite a bit. It's not experiencing as much breakage as it was before. I really think it's going to take a long time for my hair to recover from the breakage fiasco that I had, which I talked about at length in my other video if you want to check that out. The hairs along the crown are not going quite as fast as I had hoped. I think bleaching didn't help that. I think that these hairs still have quite a ways to get back to where they were, because I had all my hair at one length at one point and it started breaking really badly around the crown. but I have realistic expectations. I know that this is going to take a lot longer for this to finally get rehabilitated to where I want it, but it's definitely grown. It's filled in. All of the really short pieces are really filling in. My hair is becoming thicker. The extensions themselves has not caused me any additional damage. You know, the day-to-day life living with these extensions for the last 6 months. At first, I mentioned this in the other video that it really took a good week and a half for me to kind of get used to the idea of this much hair in my head, but now it feels like it's a part of me. I really feel like, you know what? This is my hair. It's in my head. I'm calling it mine, you know? And I really am enjoying it. I love waking up and having beautiful hair. Like, that's really nice. I curl it and then it's good for a few days. Like, I really like that. It's easy to put up in a ponytail. It's easy to wear in a bun. It's just works with whatever I'm doing and living my life. Now, let me tell you the actual hair itself, how it's held up. So the hair extension brand is called Sax Ro. When I mentioned that in my last video, they were absolutely brand new. They had just launched, and I can't even explain to you how high quality of this hair is. It feels still brand new. I know a lot of people go in and get sewn in hair extensions, hand-tied wefts, are replacing them like every 6 months. I know that this can go at least another 6 months before I'll need to replace them. And I'll have their website and their Instagram linked below as well. It's a brand that Salon and her salon exclusively uses. So if you are visiting them, you will get this brand of hair. If you're interested in this brand of hair, if you're a stylist or you want your stylist to use it, I will also point you in that direction because it is beautiful. And I had mentioned before, it's ethically sourced hair, which is a huge deal to me. I didn't want this to be something that was unethical by any means. The only critique I have is that the roots on these particular extensions on me keep going pretty red, like almost purpley red, brassy. And Salon does continue to kind of put a little bit of color on them each time we do a move up, which I'm very appreciative of. She really makes sure everything blends perfectly. And I don't know if it's me because she says that I'm the only person this has happened to. So I also changed my shower head filter. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm using sulfate-free everything, so I'm not sure what that is, but it's like a total minor, like it's not even that big of a deal to me, especially since when I go in, she does touch up the roots for me to make sure everything blends properly. I also have root spray that I use. It's the L'Oreal, or there's also a Tresemme one. I'll put a screenshot of the product right here. These two root sprays are really great to have in your collection if you want to kind of like, let's say your hair is growing out or you want to mask your extensions even more to your roots, you can spray like that root spray on there to kind of mask everything. And I feel like that root spray works really well. I don't want to go on and on with some of my favorite hair products. That root spray is definitely one of those. I don't think that I want to spend a lot of time talking about my favorite hair products to use with these hair extensions, but I will link those products in the description box below this video. So if you have hair extensions and you want to check out some really great professional grade products, I have that link below. I've switched mostly everything that I use now to salon grade or professional grade products. L'Oreal Elmet hairspray and some Batiste dry shampoo are my two like more affordable hair products, but the rest are more expensive. So another question that I get that I've gotten a few times when I've shared about my hair extensions is working out. And I am not like an intense worker outer, but I do sweat on my Peloton. So I've been into Peloton since December. In order to get my hair all up and really secure and out of my face is I like to pull one row up at a time. So I'll pull the first row up and then I'll secure it with the ponytail holder, and then I'll pull the rest of my hair up and twist it into a bun and then secure it, and that does not go anywhere. And then when I take it all down, I'll just sort of dry shampoo the roots and I feel like I'm fine. Like if you're a swimmer or you're constantly spending time on the beach or you always out in the sun, it might not be the best option for you because the more exposure to those elements, the more it will damage the hair extensions. But if you just do like you work out at the gym, or you do the Peloton, or you run, or stuff like that, I think you'll be fine. Like, I feel like this won't bother you at all. We're almost to the end of this video, but I want to just address maintaining it at myself. So maintaining at the salon is, you know, the move ups and the color. But at home, I still am on a schedule of washing it every 5 days. And I honestly just can't get past that 5-day mark. It's just, my natural hair is just has too much buildup by that point. I feel like I need a clean slate. I did also come across this tip a few people have mentioned, which I did try once and I really liked it, because if I really wanted to extend doing a full wash, is just to take the natural hair on the top outside that's exposed above the top row and like just wash that in the sink, and then it's like, oh, look, good as new. That tip was a really good tip, so thank you. Somebody, I think in the last video, mentioned that, and that was a really good tip. So I tried that once and I really like it. But other than that, I go every 5 days. Wash days are kind of a process because I also make sure to do like Olaplex, and I also make sure to do like a nice mask. I take my time with my hair and I really pamper it on wash days. It's not this big, huge ordeal. It really isn't. I spend a lot of my time letting the hair air dry. I just don't sleep on wet hair. I let it almost completely dry, and then I hit it with the blow dryer, especially at the root, at the top of the wefts. Super easy. I think at first it felt like a little, oh gosh, this is a lot. But I've gotten used to that for sure. The washing and styling, it's not that big of a deal to me anymore. The only time is like when I travel, I have to think like, all right, I need to make sure that I wash my hair before I leave, and I time my wash days the perfect amount of time for traveling so that I don't have to take all my stuff with me when I travel. Here's some pros and cons real quick, and then we're gonna wrap this video up. So the pros is like quite obvious, like your hair looks amazing. The pros of this particular method, Invisible Bead hair extensions, is that there is minimal tension on the scalp, minimal damage. I'm washing my hair less. So yeah, washing your hair less is another pro. Your hair looks amazing, you wash your hair less. You have the ability to try so many other hairstyles, or have a really thick ponytail and do other things that you haven't been able to do in your life because you've lived your life as a hair thin lady. That's a really big pro for me. So the big cons for this is obviously the expense. That's a big expense. People want hard facts and figures, and it really just depends on how many rows you get, what hair you purchase, what your stylist fees are. But just be prepared to throw down a pretty penny. So it just depends on what your budget is. Like, what are your priorities? Do you like to spend your money a certain way? If this is like an absolute no, you're like super low maintenance, you don't want to spend that kind of money on hair, then this might not be for you. But if you're the type of person is like, this is a really big priority for me, is for my hair to be something where I wake up and it looks great, this is going to be really good for you. If you have really thin hair and you just never found a really good solution for you, this is going to be a good solution. We're not going to shame anybody for spending their money the way that they want to spend their money. It's 2022. People can live their lives the way that they want to live their lives. Let people live, okay? The last con I would say for this is the maintenance, which for me is if like, as somebody who didn't really even go to the salon, but maybe 2 to 3 times a year. No, I went about 3 times a year. This is a lot more time that I have to go to the salon, but it's not even that big of a deal for me. But if you're somebody that doesn't want to have to go to the salon every 8 to 10 weeks, then this might not be for you. If that doesn't bother you, live your life. Honestly, it doesn't bother me. Those are some things for you to weigh if you were looking into this. And overall, I love this hair. I love Invisible Bead hair extensions. I'm gonna keep wearing this. I don't know how long, but I committed to a year, so we're gonna go a year and we're gonna see where we are in a year and then reevaluate. Do I go to one row? What do I do? Do I cut this? I don't know. We'll see. If you stuck around this long, you get a cookie. You're here, and we love you. With that being said, we're gonna put this video to a close. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you all on my next video. Okay, bye.